important algorithm known as list then eliminate algorithm. Now let us see what is this algorithm. It is a very basic algorithm. Try to understand the name list. So it is going to list all. After that, eliminate. So first, whatever is the hypothesis possible for the given attribute set, you list everything. From that, you eliminate whichever is not consistent. That is the meaning of this algorithm. Now, let us see the definition of this. This algorithm is going to initialize version space to contain all the hypotheses that are possible in H. In the previous class, we have seen how many syntactically correct hypotheses are possible, how many semantically correct hypotheses are possible. And here, when you start, this algorithm will initialize the version space to contain all the hypotheses in H. After that, it will eliminate the hypotheses that are inconsistent with the training examples one by one. So it is going to take training example one at a time. Then it will compare it with all the hypotheses. After that, whichever is inconsistent, it will be removed from the hypothesis space. Or we will say that from the version space, it will be removed. And finally, whichever is consistent, it may be more than one hypothesis. It is going to output all the list of hypotheses which are consistent with the given training example. This is the difference between this algorithm and the finders algorithm. And here, if you consider the version space, initially you are starting with all the possible hypotheses. But when you proceed with your algorithm, the version space is going to shrink when you observe more examples. And sometimes what may happen is your data set may not be sufficient to narrow down the version space. Our aim is we want to start with all the possible version space, then we want to shrink it. For this, your data set should be large enough. If you take only 2 examples in your data set, you cannot come to any conclusion. So if the data set is insufficient, we may not be able to narrow down the version space to come at the conclusion. So always you start with sufficient amount of data in your data set. Now let us see this algorithm. So in the case of the list and eliminate algorithm, first we are going to initialize the version space to contain all the hypotheses that are possible in H. After that, you are going to take the records from the training examples one by one. So we will say that every training example consists of 2 things. One is X and then C of X. X is set of features and C of X is the concept we are learning. Okay. What you are going to now do is you are going to check whether this particular hypothesis is consistent for the given training data set. If so, you will keep it. If it is not consistent, that means you're going to give this X as input to the hypothesis. It will predict some value that is H of X. If that is not as equal to C of X, it means that the hypothesis is not consistent. So in that case, you remove that hypothesis from the version space. You're eliminating now. So do this for all the training examples in your data set. Once you finish all the training example checking, finally, you will have your list of hypotheses that is available in the version space. That is your answer. Now let us see one simple example to understand this. So actually, this example is very difficult to understand if I take so many features. For that only, I'm going to consider a data set which is having only 2 features. The aim of this data set is I want to find out on a given day whether I will watch a movie or not. So if I want to watch a movie, I need to have money to buy the ticket. And otherwise, and one more thing is I should have a free time. Then only I can go to the theater and then I can watch the movie. We have so many extra features available, but I am considering only 2 to explain you easily. So if I have money and if I have free time, I will watch the movie. Sometimes there can be some restriction also. For example, you see the first record. The meaning of the first record is, if I have money and if I am free, I'll watch the movie. And the second record says that if I have money, even if I am not free, I am going to watch the movie. Sometimes you may be busy, but one of your very close friend will force you to come to the movie. So you are not free actually, but you make yourself as free and you are going with them. Okay. So here this hypothesis says that I have money, but I'm not free, but I make myself free and I'm going to the movie. That is the meaning of the second record. And the third record says that I don't have money. So irrespective of whether I am free or not, I'm not going to watch the movie. That is the meaning of this particular examples 3 and 4. Now, let us understand first, what is our hypothesis space? Because I have told you now capital H. We need to understand what is that capital H. So we have seen all these things in the previous classes. Once a particular data set is given to you, you should be able to answer 3 different questions. The first question is, how many distinct instances are possible for this instance space? This I told you how to find out. You see here, The first feature have many, it is having only two different values, yes and no. So you multiply, you write 2 for the first column. And the second feature free, it is also having two different values, yes and no. So that is also 2. So 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. So I can have only 4 different possible instances possible in this data set. I have taken all the 4. You know that in binary, if you have only 2 attributes, you will have 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. That is the thing I have considered here. Now, this is nothing but how many distinct instances are possible. Now, let us see how many syntactically distinct hypotheses can be expressed. We have seen that whatever is the value for the data set, you will have 2 values extra for any attribute. One value is related to question mark, which is going to accept all the values, and another is for null, which is not going to accept any value. So here for the first column, I have 2 possible values. So I have to add 2 extra now. So I will have 4. Similarly, for the second column, I have 2 possible values. Now I will have 2 extra. One is for question mark, another for null. So I'll have 4. So 4 multiplied by 4 is 16. So 16 hypotheses are syntactically distinct hypotheses. Now to understand semantically distinct hypothesis, we have already seen that whatever is this instance space, for that you have to add only one number, not 2, because 1 is for question mark. So I have now, here I have 2 multiplied by 2. So I'm going to have 3 multiplied by 3 because 2 plus 1 is 3. This 2 plus 1 is 3. Finally, I'm going to add this plus 1. This is for one hypothesis for rejecting all. So if you consider this totally, I will have 10 different hypotheses for this particular data set. This 10 is nothing but capital H. Now let us see what are the 10 different hypotheses possible for this data set. So I can now say that semantically 10 distinct hypotheses are possible. The first hypothesis is, you see there are 2 features now, have many and free. So for the first hypothesis, for both I am going to substitute S. Then in the second hypothesis, let me keep the first one as yes. I will replace the second one with all the possible values. So yes is, yes no, yes question mark. And then now I am going to the second one. For the first attribute, I have one more option as no. So no yes, no no, no question mark. Now for the first attribute, the third possible option is question mark. So question mark yes, question mark no, question mark, question mark. Then another is for rejecting all the instances, that is nothing but null null. So totally we have 9 plus 1, 10 distinct, semantically distinct hypotheses that are possible for this given data set. This is called as capital H. Now in this algorithm, in the list then eliminate algorithm, first you are going to start with the entire hypothesis set, which is nothing but this 10 you are going to consider first. So now let us proceed with the algorithm. Now this is the thing given to you. Think that only this much data set is given to you. Data set you can create as much as you want. Now let us develop the hypothesis, consistent hypothesis for this given data set. So first, when the example is given to you, you have to initialize the version space to the set of semantically distinct hypotheses, whichever I have shown in the previous slide, that is the answer. So initialize with all the 10 different values. So now what is the next step? You have to find all the hypotheses from this set that are consistent with all the training examples. So that is our step now. Now let us do that. I'm going to consider the training example 1. Okay, if you consider the training example 1, it is having yes, yes, and the answer is giving us S. So you have to find out of these hypotheses, how many are going to correctly classify this instance as yes. You consider the first hypothesis, yes, S. So according to this hypothesis, it is expecting the value for the features as S and S. If it is getting the value as S and S, it will classify that as S. Now you see what is here, yes, yes. If you give this to this hypothesis, it will predict the answer as S only. In this also, you have the answer as yes. That means that this hypothesis is correct. It is consistent. Now let us see the second hypothesis. The meaning of this hypothesis is, if I get yes and no for the attributes 1 and 2, I'll be giving the output as yes. But here you see, is this hypothesis consistent with this one? It is accepting the input as yes and S. Okay, if you pass this as input to this hypothesis, it will say the answer is no. What is the reason is, here it is expecting no, then only it will say yes as the answer. But here we are getting the answer as yes. So this will tell the answer as no only, but actual answer is yes. Therefore, this is inconsistent hypothesis. Now let us see the Next one, yes, question mark. When you give this data set to this particular hypothesis, it is going to give the output as yes, because according to this hypothesis, when the first value is yes and second value can be anything, it will give the answer as yes only. Now, what is your input? S is. So it is going to accept this data and it will give the answer as yes only. And output is also yes, therefore it is consistent hypothesis. Likewise, you can apply all the hypotheses and you can find the answer. If you want, I will explain one more. Let me consider this one inconsistent, question mark no. Let me consider this hypothesis, question mark no. If you consider this hypothesis, let me consider the first example. It will classify this example as no, because it needs any value in the first column, but in the second column, it needs yes, no only. Then only it will tell the answer as yes. But here it is having yes. Therefore, this particular hypothesis will classify the first instance as no. But here I have yes. That means it is inconsistent hypothesis. If you consider this, all these are written only for the first training example. Okay. So after I finish with the first training example, 4 hypotheses are consistent with the training example. So I have eliminated the remaining 6 hypotheses. So now I got only 4 hypotheses that are consistent with the training example 1 only. I am not going to stop with this. I have to continue with remaining examples I have in my data set. So now I'm going to consider the second example. So you check which are all the hypotheses classifying this example correctly. You consider the second example, yes, no. If you give this as input, you have to get the output as yes. Now you consider the first hypothesis, yes, yes. So according to this hypothesis, when both are yes, then only you will get the answer as yes. Therefore, this hypothesis will classify this example as no only. But we want the answer as yes, it is wrongly classifying. So we have to tell that that hypothesis is an inconsistent hypothesis for the second example. Now, let us consider the next hypothesis, S question mark. This hypothesis, it needs the first column as yes. Irrespective of the value of the second column, it will tell the answer as yes only. So that only happening here. For yes and no, it is giving the answer as yes. That means this hypothesis is correct, consistent. Now let us check the next hypothesis. This hypothesis need value S in the second column, irrespective of the value in the first column. If you consider this, here we have the value as no. So if we give the second record as input to this hypothesis, it will classify that as inconsistent, because it will tell the answer as no, because it is expecting yes for the second column, but we are giving no for the second column. So it will tell the answer as no, but actual answer is yes. Therefore, this hypothesis is wrong. It is inconsistent. Now, take the last one. It is question mark, question mark. That means this hypothesis will accept any value for both the parameters and it will tell the answer as yes only. Therefore, you see, whatever may be your value, you will get the answer as yes. Here we have the answer as yes. That means this hypothesis is consistent with our data set. So out of 4, now you say you got that 2 are consistent, 2 are inconsistent. So remove all the inconsistent hypotheses from your data set. So we have the answer as now S question mark and then question mark, question mark. So this is your answer for the given training data set. So what you can conclude here is we started with only 2 features and we have taken only 2 training examples. Now imagine the case where you have 100 features and 10,000 training examples. The algorithm will take more time to work with this particular list then eliminate algorithm, because this is going to list all the correct answers. That is fine. But when the number of features in your data set and number of training example grows, this algorithm will take a lot of time. So that is not the thing we want. We want some efficient method which will classify all correctly with less number of iterations. So we need some efficient algorithm. So that is the next solution, candidate elimination algorithm. Now let us finally summarize the points of this list then eliminate algorithm. The advantages and disadvantages of list then eliminate algorithm. The main advantages, if you use this algorithm, definitely after you consider all the training examples, you will get not only one consistent hypothesis, whichever is list of possible consistent hypothesis, everything you will get correctly. So that is the advantage. But what is the disadvantage? We have a limitation, even though it is correct. The limitation is you can apply this algorithm only if your hypothesis space H is finite. What is the meaning of this statement? If you have many number of features, if I have many number of features, then I will have this hypothesis H as infinite. It will have so many values in that. So in that case, it will be difficult for me to come to the conclusion. So this is a drawback of this algorithm.